There we go. We got the live stream going. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Turkey Talk Radio time. And I think we're ready to go. So, you guys ready? I think we're ready. So, let's do it.
I grab my quiver and my bow. It's my gearhead, don't you know? Climbing to the top with gearhead archery. Heart racing as I take aim, my spirit soaring high. As I release my arrow, reaching for the sky. In this world of chaos, I find my peace. Gearhead archery, my soul sanctuary. Each shot I take helps set me free.
All right. Welcome to this week's edition of Turkey Talk Radio on the Outdoor Call Radio Network. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. It is February, what is it, 18th? February 18th? Is it the 18th? It is the 18th. Happy February 18th. Before I do anything else, USA! 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 USA just beat Sweden in hockey in overtime. Raven was excited. It was good. Jeremy Lee at Racks and Tracks. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Sorry, I started the live stream like a minute early because I wanted to make sure everything was hooked up. I was kind of freaking out about stuff. So anyway, thanks for everybody listening. We're going to go talk to Jim Coffey from the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. He is our turkey biologist, and he is an absolute, just a really, really good guy. So we're going to talk turkey, where to aim, and all that other fine stuff today on the Outdoor Call Radio Network. Jimmy Coffey, how you doing?
Doing great, Dan. It's a nice day.
It is a beautiful day. How you doing? You doing okay? You feeling good? Got the
I'm doing good.
you got your turkey strutting out there, having a good time?
They've been strutting for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't mean the hens are ready, but the gobblers are liking what they're doing.
I had to talk about that on Sunday night. I had a guy, hey man, the turkeys, they're going to be all done. It's over. Our season's ruined. This weather. I said, settle down, Tiger. I said, settle down. It's all photo period. The hens are not ready yet. And they're not going to be ready until they know those eggs are going to be able to withstand the weather and be viable. And the toms can strut all they want. Right now, they're just getting their showing off skills done. Right, Jimmy?
Yep, they're just practicing.
Yeah, it's Skippy Peterson at Gearhead up in Wisconsin. How you doing, Skippy? Chris Leverdowski in Pennsylvania. How you doing? But yeah, I was busy. I went over to Racks and Tracks taxidermy today, Jim, and we DSD. I love DSD. They're just a great decoy company. I've been using several different hens on my turkey hunts the last couple of years, and they just get banged up. I mean, these hens come in there and they peck them. The toms body slam them, get the figure four feather headlock on them, and just, you know how it is,
Yeah.
And so they came out with these new decoys, and I said, well, why don't I give some of these other decoys away on the show? So I went over to Racks and Tracks and saw my buddy Jeremy in Knoxville, and he sprayed. He took his little spray painter and he doctored them up a little bit. So when I give those away on the show, they're going to look nice.
They won't look like they've been too abused.
Yeah, well, a couple of them. I didn't take all of them, but I mean, it's always nice to have one that's a little mucked up because that's a lucky decoy, right, Jim?
It's a badge of honor. It's been through the paces.
It's gotten a tom. That's all you can ask for. These are proven decoys. Tommy Metzger in Pennsylvania, how you doing, buddy? So let's talk about. Well, first off, is there something you would like to talk about first before I start yapping?
Well, the biggest thing is I know you've got a diverse audience here, and so it kind of equates to everybody, but especially here in Iowa, we've got our hunter listening sessions coming up in the first week of March.
Yeah.
So just make sure that people are aware of those. That's a great time. We have meetings around the state for the public to come out and just express their concerns about Iowa wildlife and rules and regulations, and we can have some honest conversations about what's happening on the landscape. So just encourage anybody in Iowa to participate, and obviously other states do similar things either online or in person. So if your state's providing that opportunity to use a hunter, take advantage of it, because the wildlife personnel really want to know how you utilize wildlife and what you're seeing on the landscape.
Okay, that works for me. I'm good with that. So I want to talk a little bit about the wing, the turkey wing, when that strutter comes in. Now, for all my gun hunters out there, you're going to want to put that beautiful little bead or that little beautiful fiber optic or that little red dot or green dot you're going to want to put that just underneath his chin, his chinny chin chin, and make sure you get as much surface pattern as you can right there for the head. Now that's where you're going to aim at. Now, when we talk about the wings and stuff, we're talking about our bow hunting shots. And Jim and I talked about this earlier today. I called Jim and I kind of went back and I looked over the last footage from Outdoors Traditions TV for a long time. Of all my turkey shots that I've taken, because I've shot a lot of toms over the years, but um, the last couple years, them turkeys, usually I can get them to flop right at the decoys. Not bragging, I'm just usually good at putting that arrow where I need to put it. But the last couple years, I've had to go chase a couple, and it's like, what am I doing? Am I not hitting them right? So I went back and looked, and that secondary feather line, that crescent moon, Jim. I was when my first several years, I was hitting almost dead when that wing was in full strut. I was hitting pretty much just to the apex of that crescent moon, and like I said, that usually flopped them right there.
And I think you're right. I hope I don't lose you here. I'm parked.
Well, don't
Um,
lose me.
I'm not trying to. I'm on a hill too. I think the key there is, so we do have technology now that allows us to do exactly what you said, is basically do post game analysis.
Yeah,
Go back and where you think you shot sometimes isn't where you actually hit at, or the bird moved or something happened. So those people that have somebody that's videotaping, or now sometimes you have a camera mounted to your weapon, you have the ability to look at what happened, because in the moment we're all excited and things happen. So that practice, whether it's with a gun or a bow, is critical. And I'm not a bow hunter, so it's hard for me to speak to this, because what I always tell people is traditionally the best shot's the old rear end shot.
yeah,
Because
Texas hard shot. Texas hard
yep,
shot.
it's the natural bullseye. It's going to do a lot of internal damage. That bird's going to die pretty quickly. It's just a great way to do. Plus, if you're not using a blind, that turkey strutting away from you is visually obscured by the tail fan, so it gives you a chance to draw that bow or move just a little bit, versus if that bird's sideways to you or coming at you.
Yeah,
Now, a lot of bow hunters use blinds, and so that gives you an advantage of being able to draw and move a little bit more. So now you see more of those, what I call wing pinning shots. But knowing that target area is very critical, and knowing where that real vulnerable spot on that turkey is difficult too. Because yes, that breast is big and it's bold, but there's no real trauma developed with hitting breast meat.
no,
You've got to get back into the heart, the lungs, the spine, those issues to get that turkey to drop fairly quickly, or more importantly, not get off the ground. Because if that bird gets up off the ground and gets his wings locked, he can glide for a quarter mile. And that can be a difficult bird to find if they get up and get coasting in that air.
yeah. Hey, Rick Seeker, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Jeremy said he's going headshots all the way, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've shot a dozen or more with a headshot with a decap or a Magnus bullhead. There's some really good turkey headshot broadheads out there. But if body shots, there's three shots I always like to take. I either like to take that broadside shot and that secondary feather at the apex of that, or if they're coming straight at me, right at the about an inch and a half above the beard, and right there by the conicals. And the other one is that Texas hard shot that Jim always talked about. But if you can shoot them in the head, go do it. Todd Rupert, how you doing? Rupert's Roost and Peace Turkey Calls. Sonny, how you doing, buddy? Sonny out there, a pure strutter. Good old Sonny. But now I'm telling you that you don't have a lot of room for air on a turkey. You're looking at about the size of a softball, and that's about it.
Yeah, and that's where practice is so important. And that's, again, the technology's come along. Not only are the bows better, you can hold them longer. You've got different options in broadheads now. The blinds have made a difference. Even having that decoy there, just that distraction factor, has all helped bow hunters become more successful. But nothing takes place for practice.
Yeah.
You've got to practice that shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know you and I talked about this a year or two ago. And before I ask this question, I'm going to ask you a little bit about spurs. But where are we at in Iowa with the turkeys right now? I know I saw a few of them still bunched up. Or they should be breaking up any day, huh?
So typically, in rough numbers, I always say March 15th is a magic date for a lot of wildlife, and most turkey flocks will be breaking up about that time. There's always some pluses or minus depending on the weather and snow depth and those things. We've got birds right now that are grouped up still on pretty good flocks, and like you mentioned, the day length is what really gets those hens to start to disperse across the landscape. I would say the way things are going, that we're going to be on the early side, but there's a lot of winter left yet.
Yeah, we might
And,
get
and
snow
those,
tomorrow.
absolutely, and it could be a heavy, wet snow that sticks around,
Yeah.
for a long time. So just because we feel warm, the birds are running off that photo period. The males and the females really don't hang out together, even though they kind of do socially. They don't. But the males are strutting right now, and if you see a group of birds right now that's got males and females in it, enjoy it. Watch it. Watch how much those hens are ignoring those males. It's almost hilarious that they don't care. And those males are just strutting for the other males at this point.
Yeah.
They're literally puffing their chests up, just trying to get either some dominance or practice in before the real work starts in a month and a half.
Why don't you just say it like it is, Jim? They're just being normal women.
They're just being, well, I was going to say they're being normal men. They're being normal men.
They're just ignoring it. It doesn't matter what you do. They ignore you. Tyler, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Scotty Mueller in Oklahoma. Good to see you too, Scotty.
God bless you on the fires down there right now. And
Yeah.
let's hope that hit us now. I heard we had a pretty good fire in eastern Iowa today.
Oh, that's not good. Well, it's good we're getting that moisture tonight.
We need moisture. We're
Yeah.
very dry.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I want to talk a little bit about everybody wants to know the how to age structure a turkey, and the go to is the spur. Can you talk a little bit about, I've shot some big birds over the years and didn't have any spurs, so
Yep.
you could that cannot that that's not always going to be the die hard proven thing how to age your bird, right?
No, and as we learn more and more about turkeys, there's even more controversy about how good of a technique that is. We do know that's very much genetically based, and you can have an area where spurs never grow, or there are no spurs on the males. But in general, again, we talk about the middle of the bell curve, the middle of what's normal. Is there's some pretty steady growth rates in that spur, and that spur is a bone that comes off of the leg, covered by a cuticle like a fingernail. So it does progress over time. And we tend to just, especially the wildlife world, we categorize into three major age groups. And that usually is young of the year, which in this case would be jakes, which would be, 9 to 11 months old. Your yearlings, which in many cases in turkeys, that would be your 2-year-old birds, we refer to them at, and then the 3-year-olds. And in Iowa, we have to report your spur length when you harvest, and that gives us a general idea of what's out on the population. But once you get past 3 years old, then we start to look at that spur length will grow just a little bit more each year. And then as we really get into those older age birds, which could be 5 years, 6 years old, because turkeys don't live that long. There is some documentation of some older birds, but most turkeys don't live that long. You'll start to see those sharp spurs, or even potentially the curved spurs, which we often call the limb hangers. And those are really good indications that that's an older age bird.
Yeah. Now, what about the when you get them white tips?
So, again, mostly probably genetics or sometimes nutrition.
Okay.
And yeah, and then a lot of people want to base it on beard length too, and beard length really doesn't have much to do with it, other than those first couple years. That beard, as a jake, is not very long, then it grows maybe 8 to 10 inches, and then most beards in Iowa and in most of the northern states are not going to get much longer than 10.5 inches, and that's just a byproduct of the length of the legs. That beard is dragging on the ground and breaking off at those tips, and so it's just not going to grow much past that.
Yeah.
You can see some longer beards in southern birds, especially down in Florida with the Osceola birds, because they do have actually longer legs.
Yeah.
And I always joke because they're walking around in the water all the time, so
Yeah.
they got to have longer legs.
They're out there in them swamps. Michael Cheney, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for listening and watching. I appreciate you. Yeah, I was my buddy Todd Rupert gave me a spur gauge a year or two ago. I always have that with me in my pack. But I'll be honest with you, Jim. I mean, of the 99 turkeys I've already shot with my bow, and I've only shot a few with a shotgun, but Um, I think inch and three quarters or inch and three eighths was my biggest bird. I don't know if I'll ever beat that, but man, I've seen some that are almost 2 inches. I mean, I've seen some
Right.
hammers.
And that's really getting out to that extreme. You know,
Yeah.
an inch and 5/8 is a really good bird. At that point, they're starting to curl back in just a little bit, and they're getting sharp. And you know, I know there's people out there that'll tell me I'm a liar, but I don't look at spurs. Some people are saying, "Oh, I shot this bird because it had bigger spurs than the bird beside it." That's great if you think you can do that. I look for a bird that comes in and gives me a show. If he's strutting and he's gobbling, and then he puts his head up, you know, I'm a gun hunter. Get a nice, good, close distance because this is an intimate sport. That's the bird I'm going to shoot, and
Yeah.
it gives me the best opportunity.
I honestly, I've probably only looked at spurs a few times, and that's because I was milking the footage. Now, when I was out in Pennsylvania with Todd Rupert last year, that bird came in. Todd was doing the calling, and a Jake and a Tom came in, and this Tom came in and just plowed my decoy, and then and then Jimmy did something that I never had a Tom do. He jumped on the decoy, but he did it facing away from me, and I could not. All I had was a back shot, and I just did not want to take that shot. And that little booger finally hopped off and gave me a kind of a quartering away. And by the time I drew back and let it go, he turned and my arrow went down the side of him. But that bird had some hooks on him.
When you get a chance to see a bird up really that close, especially bow hunting,
Yeah.
you know, and if you're in an open area that doesn't have much low vegetation, there's sometimes you can look at that. But my eyesight's not that good that I can tell an inch and a quarter from an inch and a half from, you know, I'm just looking at the fact that I can see spurs and they're nice.
Yeah.
Like
Well, no,
that's cool.
I had him on the monitor and the camera, and I mean, he was at six,
Yeah.
7 yards. I mean, I could see him, but Michael says if he's got a full fan, I'm taking him. And Michael, that's the big thing right there. If they got a full fan, that's a mature Tom.
Yeah, I grew up that if they act like a gobbler and they gobble like a gobbler, then they can die like a gobbler.
I've had.
And that
Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Well, I'd say that's just always going to kind of be my thing. And there's a lot of times when we have good reproduction, like we've had the last couple of years, those 2-year-old birds love to gobble and they'll come in and they give you the same show. And then when you go over there to put the tag on, you're like, he's not as big as I thought he was.
Yeah.
But he did everything right up to that last minute.
I tell you what, man, them Jakes. I don't know how many times over the years I've seen Jakes run off Toms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I call them super Jakes because they're not quite a Tom, but they look like they're a little bit older than a regular Jake. You know what I'm talking about? The little bit bigger
Yeah.
Jakes, and
And those are probably early hatch,
yeah,
first nest birds. Yeah.
and I've seen them plow a real gobbler and run them off.
Well, they're a little bit like teenage boys. They've got a gang mentality, and they're usually in a group. And you know, 2 or 3 young Jakes that think they can take an older man will kind of say, "Yeah, we're gonna try you." And the old guy goes, "You know what? I don't need to mess with you.
Yeah,
I'll go off and do my own thing, and the hens will still come to me. You little guys just think you own the place. You keep thinking that
yeah,
because your day will come."
yeah,
The problem I don't like, and this sounds terrible because I love good production years, but what I don't like is when you're out there hunting and you've got a lot of jakes, that's a lot of eyeballs,
yeah.
and they're looking at you, and it's hard to move. And I don't want. I'm past shooting jakes. I'd rather not shoot a bird than shoot a jake, but they can make life difficult because if you're working a gobbler and you've got jakes around, they're all looking for that hen,
Yeah.
and they'll cluck and putt and alarm everybody just as easy as the old boss hen does.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, Sean Jinx some sense. Good to see you, bud. Tell Dawn and everybody hi for me. No, I love them all. I love calling the Jakes. When I got Jakes in there, I love messing with them. They're so much fun to call to cluck and purr to, and cut a little bit and get them going. And they're just a lot of fun. I mean, I've always enjoyed that. When I get a chance, especially out in Kansas with the Rios and then the Merriams out west, they're really vocal.
Yeah, they are, and they're learning. They're learning how to become gobblers,
Mm.
and so they'll do a lot of fun stuff. And you can let them go away, and you can call them right back and mess with them again. And it's just a great time to see turkeys and look at turkey behavior when you've got those birds around.
Yeah,
It's about as much fun. I get a big kick out of. You probably have too. Is just calling the old boss hen
yeah.
because she don't like any other hens being around, and she'll talk to you a lot.
I still say,
She doesn't.
Jimmy, The most beautiful thing in the turkey woods is when you got a hen and you're talking to her and you cut her off and then she starts cutting you off and the next thing you know she comes right in and then she's got the boy trailing her. That is the most beautiful thing in the world when that happens, man. It's you sit there and she comes in and she goes right to that hen decoy and then he comes in. I've had that's awesome.
Well, and that's the reality of life is that
Yeah.
sometimes that gobbler's not coming in, and so you have to call to that hen and get her mad,
Yeah.
so that she'll make the mistake because all he knows is he's following her and he can see her and he wants her to come to him. That's just the biology of the bird, and so when you can get her mad enough to come a little bit closer to you, it might draw that male just within. And I always joke with people too. I'm like, that's why in most states using live decoys is not legal
Hmm.
because it works. And nothing says you can't call that live wild hen in and use her as a decoy, but you can't take your pet turkey out there
Yeah.
and use her.
Your pet turkey. How many times have you seen a hen gobble in real life?
A few, yeah,
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah.
A couple times during the hunting season, but I've seen it probably more during late summer brooding, where they're gobbling to their poults.
Yeah.
Again, just trying to reassemble them, get them back. And it's not a good gobble; it's a weak gobble, but it's definitely a gobble
It
that they're
sounds
putting
almost
out
sounds
there.
like a Jake gobble a little bit.
It does. It
Yeah.
sounds a lot like a jay gobble, and it's
Yeah.
very almost muffled. I think
Yeah.
it doesn't carry very far. It's not the thunderous male gobble for sure, but
No.
they definitely try. And I've seen hens strut too.
Yeah, I've had them. I've had them come in and display to have dominance over that other hen, that decoy.
But you have to,
Yeah.
yeah, but you got to remember these are social birds. They
Yeah.
communicate socially. They communicate visually. There's a social structure to the flock, so they're going to use all those things to their advantage, and really to survive. That's what it boils down to: is survival.
Yeah. I just, they make anywhere from what, 26, 28 different vocalizations. And it's just neat to listen to everything that you can when you're that close to them. And just kind of, cause that's how I learn. When I hear turkeys, I try to call like what they're doing because to me that I've called more birds than just echoing what I hear.
Absolutely, because they're talking in a language you don't understand. But
Yeah.
if you're mimicking what they're already saying, then you must be saying the right thing. And you're right. When you get those birds close enough that you can hear those little low gurgles and low murmurs, it's just the social communication between birds that are close together. That is really, in my mind, pretty intense.
Yeah. Hey,
There's
Brenda.
there's a lot of conversation.
Good to see you, Brenda. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. No, I love it, Jimmy. I like I said, if I could only hunt one thing anymore, I love whitetails, but it'd be hard for me not to go chase some turkeys. They can be one of the most frustrating things, but it's just I feel sorry for people that don't get out there and hear them fly down cackles and hear those gobbles and stuff because that to me that's a gift from the good Lord above.
Yeah, and I always reiterate too is that it's the time of the day. It's you're literally watching. For most people that hunt turkeys, and the way that most spring turkey hunters grew up learning is you're watching the sunrise.
Yeah.
And we can get up every day and go watch the sunrise, but we don't. But when we've got a turkey tag in our pocket, we have to. We
Yeah.
have to go watch that sunrise.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony, how's it going, buddy? Jonathan, good to see you, buddy. Good to see everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. I appreciate you. Real quick, Missouri went to one bird this year. Kansas went to a bird a year or two ago. Anything shaking in Iowa that is on the horizon, or you think we're going to stay with two birds?
So for right now, yeah, we've got no conversations that we're going to change anything. We've had good reproduction in Iowa the last couple of years in most parts of the state. This year with our brood survey, that's not up on the internet yet, but we had above or equal production in 5 of our 9 zones, 9 reproductive zones that we calculate. Western Iowa has been down the last couple of years, which is kind of in line with Nebraska and Kansas. We kind of expected that, but no major changes. And we're still a good state for non-residents. I know you got some Pennsylvania listeners. I've taken phone calls from Pennsylvania people. We're taking calls from people that are looking at Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, going, well, we can't go there, or we don't want to go there. We want to come to Iowa. I'd love you to come to Iowa, but unfortunately, we're a draw state, and everybody drew out this year. So there
Yeah.
are no tags available for non-residents this year. and some of our non-resident zones are actually getting to a preference point level. It's going to take you a couple years to get there.
Yeah.
So you got to be looking as a non-resident of applying in January, and knowing what zone you want to hunt, and start. I hate to say it, but pre-planning that trip to Iowa is becoming crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. Sonny says my favorite time is getting into turkey woods. So I'm with you, Sonny. I just I crappies, walleyes, morel mushrooms, and turkeys. What more do you want? You know?
And we've all been cooped up. Yeah, deer season runs a little late. We love that, but by the time spring runs around, we want to get back outside and just if we get a rain tonight, just smelling that fresh rain on that dirt is going to be so refreshing in the morning. And I was out Saturday doing a little prep work for some burning, and I just sat in the woods and just listened to the squirrels in the tree, in the leaves, and the birds in the trees. And I thought, man, I can't wait for this to be spring turkey season.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hank down at Revelton, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Revelton Distillery. You been down to Revelton?
In Osceola? No, I have not been there.
You
I
need
did
to,
buy it, but I have not been in there.
yeah, you need to stop in there. They got some good stuff going on.
I'll have to do that when I'm not in a state vehicle.
Yeah, don't do it in a state vehicle. Yeah, that's not good. All right, Jimmy, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. It's always fun when we have you on the shows. I'll call and bug you again, get you on Saturday morning, and we'll get you on here again before the season's over. Anything else? Go ahead.
No, anytime. But turkey season is coming up so fast, and I will just reiterate, the hunt is not about killing a bird. The hunt is about being out there and participating.
Yeah, it's always a good time, isn't it?
It is.
All right, buddy. You be good, be safe. Tell everybody hi for me, and thank you so much.
I will.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Dan.
There he goes. You're welcome. There he goes, my buddy Jim Coffey from the Iowa Department of Natural Resources. Really good fellow right there. Really good fellow. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a real short break. This is only a couple minutes, like 2 minutes, like 2 or 3 spots, and then we'll come back. I got a major announcement. I told everybody we're going to have a major announcement. Don't go anywhere because you're going to want to hear this. This is going to be pretty cool. We'll be right back on Turkey Talk Radio on the Outdoor Call Radio Network.
OnX Hunt helps hunters be more successful in the field each season, with maps of all public and private land and a fully functional GPS without service. The app, trusted by over 6 million users, has just released a bunch of new features to help you on your next hunt. New aerial imagery options like leaf off, recent imagery updated every 2 weeks with historic look back, and imagery on demand.
What's up, everybody?
OnX is reinventing the trail camera market by syncing your hunt app with multiple cell camera manufacturers and helping to organize and analyze your photos. You can also now view your maps in Dash when driving to your next hunting location. These are just a few of the many updates OnX has for this hunting season. Try OnX Hunt free for 7 days or go to onxmaps.com/hunt and use code X for 20% off your new OnX Hunt membership. Try OnX Hunt free for 7 days or go to onxmaps.com/hunt and use code X for 20% off your new OnX Hunt membership.
Have you been looking for an easier way to haul your gear for your outdoor adventures or projects? Well, have you looked at Compass Carts? Compass Carts offers a unique and durable system for all of your outdoor needs. Compass Carts works with your e-bikes for easy loading of your game, gear, or what you need to go from camp, tailgates, or to the project site. They offer several hitch options so you can use your ATV or your side-by-side as well. Compass Carts have great suspensions that hold up to big payloads, wheel options that can handle over 300-pound loads while holding up to the harshest terrains with no flats. They also convert to a carrier for your bike or gear by simply loading to your vehicle hitch with ease. So no more struggling to get your deer, elk, or other game and gear back. Just load it on your Compass Cart and you're on your way. For more information, check them out, compasscarts.com, or find a dealer near you.
Oh! All right, welcome back to Turkey Talk Radio on the Outdoor Call Radio Network. Hope everyone's doing well. Jeremy says, going to go gonna get my taxes done. What's your luck? Go get them, Jeremy. Mary, hi. Pete the Donut, hi. David, good evening. How you doing, buddy? Good to see everybody. So, again, if you're just tuning in, I went out to Racks and Tracks with Jeremy earlier. Get your decoys set now, if they're a little scuffed up, we're going to do the ugly turkey decoy contest starting Saturday. So I've got several of my DSD turkey decoys that I've used on the TV show the last couple of years, and they're in great shape. A little scuffed up here, and Jeremy airbrushed a few of them today, so they look pretty good. But the strutter, I've got a 3/4 strutter. I've got a feeding hen. I've got a pruning hen, and I think I've got an alert hen to give away. We're going to start that on Saturday, so just call in. I'll probably give one away Saturday. I'll probably bring a decoy with me, and we'll register everybody to do the other ones, and then we'll draw a winner every week. But I'll probably go ahead and give a turkey decoy away on Saturday. So let's just plan on doing that. But I look forward to the Dave DSD ugly turkey call or turkey decoy contest. So, and they're like I said, all of them have gotten a turkey, so they got some good luck to them. Okay. So that's good. Also, too, I put this on Facebook already. If you come out to the booth at the Iowa Deer Classic, Onyx was really good about sending me some annual memberships for the premium and the excels. So we're going to give away the first 10 people to come up to the booth and download the Outdoor Call Radio app. I'm going to give you a free membership to Onyx, so you can get out there and do your scouting, mark your stands, your rubs, your scrapes, your roosting spots for your turkeys. Onyx is an invaluable tool. It shows you all the land markers, so you know what property lines are, where the lines are, who owns what, and we're going to hook you up with that. And we'll have some other Outdoor Call Radio swag. And then the grand prize this year is going to be a compass cart. Somebody's going to get my compass cart, and that's like a $1,400 deal. So thanks to Todd and everybody at Compass Carts for doing that. All right, special announcement, the big announcement. We renewed Bowstring Adventures for one more year. I want to thank Carbon TV. We just started loading the turkey hunts. I just loaded my Kansas hunt at Triple H. Ryan got that done. They were down at the NWTF, and he got home and he got that uploaded. So that's live on Carbon TV right now. Just go look up Bowstring Adventures and you can watch it. Send me a screenshot if you do that. outdoorsdan@mac.com. Email it to me. And I'm going to give away a Weeby knife this week. Okay, so I'll wait till Friday to draw it. So if you watch the TV show, take a screenshot of you watching it and send it to me. Email it, and you're in the drawing. This is my 26th year doing TV. All right, and it's also going to be my last year. I'm still going to record stuff for social media, for YouTube, and on the YouTube channel. But there's going to be times where I won't take a camera anymore. I think I've done everything I've wanted to do as far as here in the Midwest. I'd love to get a moose and stuff, but one of the things that I wanted to do since I started Bowstring Adventures last year, since this is going to be the last season, I wanted to get Jeff Jorgensen a call, my buddy. And if you watched Outdoors Traditions TV for the 20 years that we did Outdoors Traditions TV, Jeff was my co-host, and Jeff was there the whole 20 years with me from the start to the finish. And I love Jeffy, and I called him. I said, hey, I'm going to do one more year of the TV show for 26, 27. I said, how would you feel about coming and doing the show with me for my last season? And he said, man, that'd be awesome. So we're going to have the Jeff Meister back on TV. And I'm really happy and excited. I love him. And I could not have done Outdoors Traditions TV without his help for those 20 years. I just couldn't have done it. And I want to give him a big shout out. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Oh man, wish I wasn't so far. Well, David, the knife and stuff, we'll ship it to you. Just go watch Bowstring Adventures on Carbon. Hey, Robert, how's it going, buddy? And email me a screenshot of the show that you're playing, and you can win a Weeby knife. We'll ship that to you. And the secret listener contest stuff, David, we can mail that to you too. So you can still win. I ship stuff out all the time. But I'm really honored and glad to have Jeff back and to finish it like we started it. And that's the big announcement. The Jorgensen is going to be back. So he's going to be shooting a gearhead. I'm going to give him we're hook him up with a gearhead pivot carbon 24 like I got. And he's going to be out there whacking and stacking like he always does. And he's going to Alaska. He's going to hunt the Hall Road this year. So we'll have some Alaskan hunts, which is going to be a lot of cool stuff. So I'm just that's the big announcement. I wanted to share that with you and do it live. And I'll say it again Saturday for everybody that missed it today. But I just appreciate all of you very much. I can't wait to see you at the Iowa Deer Classic. And just thanks for checking in, watching the live streams, and checking on the app and listening to all the shows there. And we just appreciate you, and we couldn't do it without you. Hey, Rupert, at Rupert's Roost and Peace Turkey Calls wanted me to tell you they're going to have a new. He's going to have a new Green Reaper this year. It's going to be the Glass Call, the Glass Call. So that'll be at the Iowa Deer Classic, and he's going to have some extra special box calls that you're going to just flip out on. I can't wait for you to see there. Kool-Aid Archery, Bo and the gang are going to be at the Iowa Deer Classic this year, and they were going to be cutting arrows and designing arrows at their booth to order. So if you need some new shafts, I want you to go see Bo and Ryan and everybody over at Kool-Aid Archery and take advantage of the deals that they're going to have going on there. I think I got everything on there. Unknown Files is on at 7 from the gang with Illinois Paranormal Group. And that's brought to you by Revelton Distillery out there in Osceola. They're the official spirit of the Unknown Files show. We always appreciate everybody down there at Revelton. Other than that, I want to thank Game Hide, Speed Broadheads, Kool-Aid Archery, Flex Fletch, Gearhead Archery, Rupert's Roost and Peace Turkey Calls, DSD Decoys. They help us do all the turkey hunts, and we couldn't do it without them. So thanks to everybody there. And I think we're done. So you guys and gals, I will see you on Saturday. If you need anything, let me know. Don't forget to get those screenshots in for the secret listener on the app and for Bowstring Adventures. So we'll I think what am I doing Saturday? I can't remember what did I say. I think it might be something from Fourth Arrow this weekend. I know we're going to give away a turkey decoy Saturday, and I know I got some Iowa Deer Classic tickets, but I think the secret listener contest is going to be. I think it's a Fourth Arrow deal. I'll have to look. Anyway, you guys be good. I'll see you soon. Let me get out of here. I'm over time. And I will talk with you. Be safe and have a nice evening. Great show. Thank you, Rick. Well, thank you, Rick. I always appreciate you as well. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good night. I grab my quiver and my bow. It's my dear head, don't you know?